guys, how y'all doing? And welcome back again to my channel. If you're new here, this is Find My Way and I'm Becky. I'm really happy to see you. For my OGs, my subscribers, thank you for not unsubscribing because I know it's been a while. I think I'm already tired of saying it's been a while. See guys, honestly, I really have to give kudos to people that stay on YouTube and are consistent. It's not beans. It's really not beans. Honestly, I've been so busy with other stuff. I work a regular 9 to 5 and all that. But still, it's not an excuse. There are people that are 9 to 5ers that are still kicking it on these YouTube streets and doing. But honestly, I just felt a bit disoriented. Probably because when you post a video and you don't get that much views on it, you just like all that work for nothing. And honestly, it's a lot of work. Editing sometimes can take up to 3-4 hours just to edit a simple maybe 15-minute video, because I do everything on my phone anyways. I film on my phone, I edit on my phone, so it's a little slow. But then that also is not an excuse, because there are other people that also edit with their phones. Anyways, I'm tired of doing excuses. I'm just trying to be better, one step at a time. Please, guys, I like to have your engagement, comment, and tell your friends about the channel so that we can grow this thing, keep the ministry going so that I can get to the permanent site. So today I just wanted to talk about something. I just wanted to do a story time, because I've never done something like this yet. So I just wanted to try my hands on it, and it will be a very, very interesting one. I'm talking about how I was homeschooled here in Nigeria for 8 good years. Yeah, so if you're interested, just stay tuned and keep watching. So as I was saying, I think I was about 3 or so when I was pulled out of regular school. Anyway, the reasons behind this were, I would say, my parents had the best reasons behind their decision to pull me and my siblings out of regular school, that is formal school, and decided to homeschool us. Definitely not a blueprint for anybody to follow, but their circumstance was unique, and it was unique to them, and they took the best decision as regarding their circumstances at that time. So I just wanted to put it out there before you guys come in comments and like, what happened? But that was pretty rare, especially in Nigeria, and in that time. I'm talking about these are like early 80s thereabout. We're pulled out of school. I was pulled out of school, regular school. I think I was about 3 or 4 then, and then we started homeschooling till I think I resumed regular school when I was in JSS 2. So about 8 years, I was exclusively homeschooled. And it was a very interesting time. We didn't feel like, or I would say myself, because I'm talking about myself. This didn't happen to just me. It happened to a number of my older siblings as well. So, but my younger siblings, I think by the time we had moved to regular school, they just caught up. Maybe when they were even in kindergarten and stuff, so they didn't really feel the impact. But I think for me, myself, and my older siblings felt the impact of like really experienced homeschooling, as it were. And I just started to talk about this because last year a lot of schools were shut down, and people, especially in Nigeria, had to experience schooling from home for the first time, although albeit online. But then there were some study packs that were brought home. Like for me, my kids had study packs that were brought home maybe weekly, and we go to the school, pick them up, and then they walk through it for the week and then they return it and stuff. And I was just thinking, I was like, this is what we did some odd, how many decades ago? And people are complaining that school is, homeschooling is tough, is that you have to give attention. I'm just wondering how my parents did it. My mom, how she did it for over 8 years. Really. And the good thing about this is, I think I will just talk about the pros and then a bit of the cons, or will I say some of the perceived adverse effect, because, well, at the end of the day, we all turned out great when we resumed formal schooling. But I just want to talk about the two sides. But I think one of the main things here is the fact that we had one-on-one coaching. But okay guys, so I'm back. The settings have changed a bit. So I noticed that my memory card was full, so I had to go create some more space, and then the background was a bit dark previously, so I had to like do some put on some lighting and all that, because the weather just changed and the natural light just got a bit dark, dimmer, so I had to put on extra lighting. Anyway, so where were we? So I was talking about one of the, the pros of being homeschooled for that amount of time. And the first thing was, the fact that we had personalized coaching, personalized teaching from our teachers. So, of course, we had more, what will I call it now? We had more time with teachers. So it was so easy for us to assimilate, and because of that, we caught on faster than our counterparts in formal schooling. Well, I would say it's a good thing, because at the end of the day, it turned out that even when we resumed formal schooling, we found out that we're still ahead of the class. Like for me, when I resumed in JSS2, and I'm not even sure I resumed the first term JS2. I resumed like maybe second term or so in JS2, but I still found that I was easily, one of the, top in the class. Yeah, so I think the fact that you had this personalized teaching, because the teachers had enough time to teach us, and then the fact that the hours were not stringent, they were flexible, so we could have classes maybe in the afternoon or later in the evening or in the morning, as the case may be. So we had a lot of flexibility, and there was a lot of playtime too. We had a lot of free time, but of course my mom will always make sure that we did our assignments when our assignments were due and all that. So, and then the second thing was that the flexibility also extended to not just in class or academic work. So we had time to explore other areas, like I can remember a time we even went into like pottery, ceramics, and all stuff like that. Just we went into quite a bit of things. So my dad made sure that we kind of had a well-rounded experience in trying our hands on different crafts and things like that. So yeah, at the end of the day, we had quite much more personalized training that kind of brought us up to speed faster than regular schooling would have. And it was actually proven, because when I resumed back to regular school, I found out that it was pretty easy for us on the uptake to just blending with academic work and just continue. Now and then, also there were some things that we could do that maybe our counterparts were not really doing. Also on the flip side, peer-to-peer interaction was also something that was missing in regular school. I remember going to school the first time, and I was just like, oh gosh, all these children, my goodness. And then you start learning how to make friends, because when I was really, really young when I stopped. So resuming school was like, my goodness, there's so many kids out here. I had to start warming up to people, building relationships with different types of people. Because previously it was just our close circle of, church mates, and then friends that come around the house, people that we play around together that we were mostly exposed to. We didn't have like classmates, friends, stuff like that. So yeah, it was with that we had to learn human interaction, like peer-to-peer interaction, much later than our peers that maybe just started off from primary school and kindergarten and just knew how to do or how to mingle. So I think that was one of the main, I'll say, drawbacks that I faced, getting back into regular schooling. Then it was not that difficult to just blend in. And then another thing was, talking to people. Maybe they'll ask you, when we were not in like regular school, and they ask you, what school do you go to? I'm like, I'm schooling at home. It was weird then. It was really, really weird. So like, you're schooling at home? And I would say, yes. Why? So yeah, then maybe my parents would start explaining or stuff like that. So yeah, and then I remember when I had to write common entrance. I wrote it from home. I was coached, and then I registered in like a school, in a regular secondary school, to write their common entrance, just to make sure that I was up to date with what was being taught. And so filling it out and rest, when they say previous school, I said homeschooled. It was really weird. It was weird. And so yeah, I think those were the experiences I had then that was kind of weird, and I'm sure it was the same for my siblings. But by and large, I would say that when we got into regular school, there wasn't that much of a culture shock, really. And then we, of course, now started being exposed to different characters. Mama. Yes. I'm videoing. Can you give me some minutes, please? Thank you. And yeah, where was I? A lot of interruptions. So anyways, yeah, those were the main, I'll say the major, I'll say drawbacks we had then. It was just like fitting in and explaining to people why we are not in regular school. But I must confess that it was fun, because we had unlimited playtime. I mean, it's just when your teacher comes, like when our teacher comes, and then we spend those hours learning. And the rest was just, being involved in other kind of crafts and things. And then we're doing a lot of traveling there with my dad and all that. So we didn't have to like drop out of, or maybe ask permission for a space of time and miss out on structured exams and all. Our classes started when they start and they end when they end. So when we are traveling, we just tell this teacher we are traveling. Okay, so he will know how to structure his own curriculum. So that was really fun. So we didn't have any restrictions in terms of learning and the flexibility of learning, and I think that was it. Yeah, that's basically my experience being homeschooled for 8 years. And like I said, at the end of the day, I restarted school when I was like in JS2, and I finished the same time that my mates were finishing, and then it's just been smooth sailing. It had just been smooth sailing since then. Same with my siblings anyway. So I mean, all of us, we are out of school right now. So yeah, and basically everyone is doing fine in their own like specialization or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I think this was a kind of a unique story that I shared during my childhood. I just felt that I should share. So if you enjoyed this video up till now, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you like this kind of story times, I have quite a bit of experiences that I can share. So if you did like this, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, consider doing so already. Subscription is free. And yeah, comment down below how you see this. Would you want to homeschool your kids? Is it something that you would consider? What are the pros? What do you think are the pros? What are the cons? Looking back now, I'm sure, although we were oblivious of the fact that money was being paid to these teachers, but I know for sustaining that for 8 years, there must have been quite a bit of financial implication to it. So those are the kind of things that maybe you should consider if you're thinking about homeschooling your children for whatever reason. Anyway, but I would say that growing up now and having kids of my own, I have tried to imbibe an aspect of having this will I say flexibility in learning with my kids, aside from the structured learning they have in school. We find out that especially in Nigeria, a bit of the curriculum is quite regimented, and so it's good to broaden their horizons with other things that they might learn. So maybe if you see your child having a flair for arts or public speaking or music or maybe some type of sport, it's something that maybe you might want to hone better in your kids by employing someone, a professional, to come teach your kids, concentrated coaching for that particular aspect of your child's life to bring them up to the standard they want to be as well. So I think that part is something I'm trying to imbibe in my kids, and I think anything you give attention to will blossom, really. So you always make time for things that are important to you. So and of course you see good results in that. So that's one part that I've taken on. But comment down below what you feel about this. I'd like to hear your own view. So hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Like, share, comment, and all that good stuff. So I guess I'll see you in my next one. Until then, be safe and keep being amazing. Bye.